So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower the resolution of this a bit. Let's go to maybe 8. Put that at 9. I'm sort of doubling. Or come on, sort of playing a bit slowly. So I'm going to pause it. Let's put that at 9. I'm going to give this version 2. So we're just going to get a different cache on this. And right, so let's put that to read, write, rewind, edit, resume graph. And there we go. So let me just start playing that through. It's going to sort of sim a bit quicker, hopefully. So we're still getting some nice sort of shapes in there. It's still a lot. It's still quite low res. You see we get this nice, this vorticity coming in already. Get some good stuff there. Right, so that's frame. Let's just leave that at that. And I'm just going to find the. Maybe I've not got it anymore. I'm just going to find my cache. So this is version, where is it? So this one is version 2 of that one above. We can ignore the butane one. So I've lowered the resolution. It's 25 meg for frame 14. Go back here. Frame 14 was 100 meg. So see, by halving it, you're basically lowering the size of the caches by 4. So let's have a look at some of these settings. So there's some optimizing settings in here. So if I go create node, I would like Adaptivity, which is on by default here, and this will basically sort of try to lower the voxel density of the combustion on its interior, in the parts you don't see. So it sort of keeps the shell of it at a high res, but inside it tries to keep it at low res. So let's just give that a quick play and see if it has much of an effect on the size of the cache. It may not do, but this will help with lowering. Have I got this at read or write? I think I've got it at write, haven't I? Or read, I mean. Stop that. Right, let's go back to here. Let's go to my cache. No, I did have it at write mode. I'm just going to call it actually Adaptivity, ADP. And hit enter. Not that one. Hit rewind and do play. So I'll give that a pause. Oh, actually, I'll wait. It's not that too long. Watch it go through. Thirteen, 14, and 15. So that's 15. 20 goes to 16. I'll stop it. Right. So let's just put that to read. So let's go back to our caches again. So this one, version 2, ADP 1528. It's actually bigger, is it? Well, look at that. Didn't actually work, that, does it? Which is peculiar. So 14 was, well, 13 was 22, 13 was 22 as well. So it's not actually, doesn't actually make that much of a difference, really. Let's have a look at the settings. So maybe because that's quite high, I guess, or quite low. I mean, it would need to be higher. But you can do it for all different things. I won't go through all these, but these can, and I think in the previous version it was a bit broken. It made your simulations look completely different. But this can help won't help fundamentally with the speed of the sim, but it will help with the size of these caches. I might just need a little bit of tweaking. So that's that one. The other one, which is really good, is this Refinement. So I'm just going to turn off that one. So what Refinement does is it adds detail to your sim without you having to up the resolution. So this option is, so the Refinement sharpen in the output of this mode should be connected to the blah blah blah. So enable Refinement, so it's on by default, refinement levels of 1, and this gives more apparent detail in lower simulations with less cost than the full resolution simulation. For example, running a simulation with 1 refinement level gives the same amount of apparent detail as a simulation with half the fluid size detail, but faster. So if you remember, I set my source air to 0.08 and it was 0.04, so this is half the size of that. So theoretically, whether this works I'm not sure. Just say with 1, just with 1, yeah, 1 refinement level will give us that. So let's try that. Let's give this another name in my cache. So I'm going to call this Refinement. And go to write mode. And it does take a little bit longer. It doesn't. It's not. There is a, an impact and a cost in the simulation, but not nearly as much as there would be if you were lowering the res by, half. And already you can see there is a bit more detail in there compared to the other one. Got my caches, so I can look. So, slightly larger in file size. You can see starts off at about 1 meg by 5, and here it's 5 there, by 5 here it's 7. So it is adding more information to the cache. But this is significantly faster than when I did the previous one, which you can see here was doing, you can sort of calculate this out. Version 2, that was a low res one, but the top one, it was doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 a minute. And then by the time it was getting to, how far did I go? I think I only went as far as 34. So it was doing 1 a minute by the time it got to 30. That's obviously because the voxelization gets bigger in the scene. It takes longer to sim as you get further into it. So this is quite a cool way of adding more detail. It's always about adding more detail, and as you can see, this is less. Where are we now? 15, 16. Let's stop it there. So if I go back to, let me go, well, make sure I put this back to read. If I moved it and right, it would have written over that frame. If I go back to 15. And so remember that one, I'm just going to put, what do they call that? ADP. Let's try that one. You can see completely sort of different. Not different in shape per se, but different in sort of surface resolution. What did I call that one again? I called it. Forgotten. What was it? Ref. For refine. See, it's got a lot more going on in there. But still was fairly quick compared to higher resolutions. And you do have other settings there, which I've not played around with much, if I'm honest. I've actually not played around with this, because I think it was a bit broken to begin with, but this new version, it seems to be alright. So you can apply sharpening, radius and filters. Enable sharpening applied to the voxel density to avoid diffusion over time as it is transported in the flow. It is a cheaper way to avoid diffusion compared to boost detail with points, whereas you do have a boost detail with points here, I think. Or you have it actually in, is it in that one? I think it's actually just in the solver settings. You can do, maybe you can't. There was a thing about points, where is it? No, maybe not. Combustion settings. Detail with points. Just that one, isn't it? So it's here, yeah, sharpen with points. So that's those two. That one didn't seem to give as much, but I think you get these three versions. You can do, maybe because I did, maybe if I try interior. Let me turn that one again and see if we can get a lower file cache. Just disconnect that one so we're not getting that causing anything. Going to turn on that one. And course and interior. Let's try that. Probably won't do anything, but you know, it's worth giving it a go. ADP. To read, which is, put it to write, I mean. Just play it through a bit, see what happens. Might pause this one. Yeah, so I just tried that again with the settings set to boom, boom, boom. Course and interior. Let's see if it works. I haven't even looked yet. So, boom, boom. So I went to frame 20, but let's have a look at, say, frame 10. Frame 10 here is 15. Frame 10 on this one is 13. Yeah, so it does work. It will start lowering your caches. And obviously, a couple of meg here isn't that big a deal, but when you're up to 4 gig a frame, and that's what is that? That's probably like 10% bigger. Maybe 20%. You know, you're going to lose a lot of file size, which can be a big help. Right, so that was Adaptivity and Refinement.